Hey everyone, Drajan here, and I hope you enjoyed that video as much as I did. I have always loved editing videos to music, and now that I am into mechanical keyboards, I thought it would be a good idea to fuse the two together. I'm still working on the format of the series, so if you have suggestions, feel free to leave a comment. On the last video, I had some questions regarding the build, and I figured it might be better to have a quick discussion portion before the sound test, so I get to say my thoughts on this one. This will not be an extensive review like some of my videos. This will just be my thoughts and a showcase of the keyboard, since you really can't purchase it on the market right now, so it's not a good use of time to critique the board. So this is the Alu Exo V2, and this is my endgame keyboard, though endgame is a lie we tell ourselves. It's from Monstargear, and I really like the way they sell their keyboards. Most of their keyboards are being sold in stock, though I have recently seen them do pre-orders with very short lead times. It seems the pre-orders will get shipped after a few weeks, which still beats the usual 3 months or more for other keyboard group buys. I believe this is how customs should be sold if the maker is already an established company and you already have a logistics system in place. I really don't like it when big companies that can fund keyboard projects resort to pre-orders. I think that should be reserved to smaller operations or enthusiasts who want to get their designs made. This is likely the last Alu Exo V2 they sold. I got news that Monstargear still had a stock of the board, so I emailed them and they confirmed that there was still one remaining. They were keeping it as a backup in case some customers will be needing replacement parts. And luckily, they shipped it to me. This is B stock and there were some issues that I will discuss later, but I was more than happy to get my hands on it. Going to the board, the Alu Exo is an aluminum TKL and it's hot swap. You have PVD coated brass on both the weight beneath the board and the plate, which is really nice since that makes the brass more resistant to oxidation. This keyboard weighs 3.2 kilos, very hefty. Central to the keyboard's design are the RGB strips on the side. If you've been watching my videos, you know that I like RGB and I really like the implementation here. I built this keyboard a few months ago and unfortunately, I didn't get any footage since at the time, I was still finding it hard to build the keyboard and shoot videos at the same time. I had a temporary setup before on this board. I loaded it up with some glorious Pandas and some keycaps from Maxkey, and that one sounded really nice, though the aesthetics didn't really tie up. The plan was to wait for the GMK Red Samurai from drop, but that just got delayed so many times, and this GMK white on black came here first, so I tried it on, and honestly, I think it's perfect. It fits my current setup well. This has a sandwich mount with a plate being placed in between the top and bottom case without any screws. Again, my unit was B-stock and I knew this issue before buying it. The plate was too tight on one side and rattled on the other, so I ended up putting some foam where the plate connects to the case. And at the time, I didn't know that was how gasket mount boards were made, so in a way, I think it's a semi-gasket mount, I think. The only issue was the board did not have the space for it, so I had to compress the board tightly, and you can still see that the top and bottom cases don't fit perfectly. I honestly don't mind it. I also put in some KBD fans module foam to further dampen the board. The switches here are smoky Durock L7s, continuing the black and white theme, and I think these switches are highly underrated. These are also made by GWK, much like the Alpacas and the NK Silks, but are usually more available. They were good out of the box since they were factory lube, but adding a bit more removed some of the switch noise. Typing experience, as you would have guessed, is really nice. I find any and every excuse to type on this keyboard. I still prefer typing on taller keycaps, but there's just something about Cherry profile keycaps that makes you want to type more. And I still type faster on Cherry over any other profile. Also, the keyboard is quite tall already, so having a smaller profile was a better fit. The Durock L7s are really smooth and are weighted just right. The board is quite muted. I had to get the mic really close for it to pick up the typing sound clearly, but in normal use, you don't hear the board too much. Unfortunately, I don't use it for gaming. The keyboard is too high for me to comfortably rest my left hand on the WASD keys, even with a rest. I also find the TKL layout too big for me when gaming, so this is mostly used for work or script writing for videos. And that's it. I'll be leaving you with two sound tests. First is this build, and the second one would be the earlier build that I did with Glorious Pandas and SA keycaps. Thank you for watching and see you on the next one. Bye!